Hello, my friends. How's everybody doing today? I see Connie. I see Mickey. I see Lynette. Oh, Lynette, you're in Cape May? Wow. It's so cool there. It's so pretty. So, how's everybody? We just got done with a hectic week at the store, and now we're back in the normal schedule. Tomorrow we will have our Facebook Live sale. Hey, Louise. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're back on schedule for our Facebook Live sale. And then tonight we have our scan and cut. Then Friday we'll have Friday Fun Day, and we're back on track to life as usual. So, but I do have an appointment tonight, so I have to dash out of here. But I think we can finish the project, I hope, if I don't mess it up. Anyway, you know, Father's Day's come around the corner, so we're going to create a Father's Day card, and it's got like a snow globe thing with the glitter. So, hey Fancy Pants, hey Doris. So tonight we're going to be all on the low-tack mat. We're going to be all with the standard blade, except I am going to use the universal pin holder because I'm going to write out Happy Father's Day. So, you know, I had all these great plans in my head what I was going to do. Some things, the scan and cut is wonderful. But some things it just can't do, and you need software to do it. But as you know, I try to do everything here in this class in the scan and cut. So I just had to make some alterations to my original plan. So, but it's kind of disappointing when what you had in your brain you can't translate. So I'm going to start out right away, and we are going to go to the overhead. So what we're going to start out with right away is these were images I captured off a free clip art, of course, on the internet. So I just searched like tools or something like that. So what we're going to do is scan it in and do direct cut, because that way I feel like get a better cut because I want to just do the outline. But on the saw, I had to trace around it because the background color and the saw color are too close, so the scanner wasn't picking it up. So I did trace around the saw. I should have traced around this, but I'm probably not going to use the pliers anyway. So let's go forward. So let me show you, let's see. I'm going to do the camera that's on the scan and cut screen itself. I think I'm going to have to stand up because my chair is too high. So you won't see this, but I'm just loading the mat. Let me turn the mic because, you know, I know you guys think I talk too quiet. All right, so I'm going to pick my scan option, and I'm going to do scan to cut data. And it's asking me to put the lever to the scan, so that's on the side of the machine. So I just put it to the number 2 position. I'm going to start my scan. The reason why I use the scan to cut instead direct cut is I can fine tune it better for what I want in this case. All right, it's recognizing. It's taking a little bit of time. So that was Cape May was your hometown, huh, Lynette? It's a beautiful place. All right. So what I want is I want to do just the outline. I don't want to cut like the hole in the saw and all that. I don't need all that. And if you have too many little bits and pieces, well, let's draw it in first. So I'm going to draw it in on just around the items I want to cut, because see, there's a lot of stuff. If you have stuff on your mat, it's going to show up. All right, so that's it. That's what I want. And actually, it looks really good. Now, if I had some bits and pieces in the background, like a little dot, I could ignore object size and raise it up. But we're good, because all this is a good shot. So we're going to say okay. Very pleased with it. I'm going to say okay. It's processing. we're going to say we're going to do it on the machine. Now it's going to save it to the machine, but we can always delete it off. So the important thing is, don't take your mat off the machine and don't move the material on it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit home and say OK. So we're going to go into retrieve data, and we're going to pick up the machine, and we're going to look for our little tools. It's not it. I have to clean up Selena's machine for it. There it is. It's usually the last thing. The last thing you did appears last. We're going to say OK. And we don't need to scan it or anything because we're going to cut it just as it is. We don't want to risk moving anything. And I have the standard mat. The standard blade. I have the low tack back. We're going to go ahead and start. So some other night, I've showed it in the past where I've showed the different scans and how they work. But tonight I just want to do this. I know that this option for what I want to do tonight works the best. But there are some people like the scan to cut. Direct cut, I should say. Scan to direct cut. So how was everyone's weekend? Did you guys go to graduations and stuff? That's it. Rayan graduated from middle school last Wednesday, and Selima went to a relative's college graduation this weekend. So all my family's too old. They're all graduated college and everything. So none of that's happening in my family. And of course, Father's Day this weekend. Those of you who are lucky to still have your fathers, probably going to celebrate them. My dad would love this card because he was a woodworker. But my dad's in heaven. I'll probably send it to my brother. All right. I should have showed you cutting. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to unload it. And we're going to go over here and I'm going to show you how I did. I neglected to show it cutting. All right, here we go. So, see, the tape is tearing the paper. I'll tell you another thing I found out during this process is that this cardstock, which we'll be using, is double-sided. This doesn't cut that well. If you want to do fine cuts like lettering and stuff, it's not that good. Because if it tears a little bit or drags a little bit, it'll show. Because even though there's color on the two sides, inside it's white, and that'll show through. So I kind of prefer the cardstock that's just the color on one side. It cuts better. But it's all learning process, right? So just lift this up. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. It didn't cut. Oh, you know what? I bet I had the half cut on. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. Let me go back. I didn't even check that. Yep, the half cut was on, so I'm going to turn that off right now. See what happens when you rush things? Okay, so that's the explanation why it didn't cut, but that's okay. I have some extra tools from my previous tries at this that we'll use. So remember, turn that half cut off. All right, so I am going to move on to writing our Happy Father's Day. So, but we're gonna feature more scanning than this one too, and I will explain to you why. So I was trying to make it so we could do the weld without having to overlap the letters and everything, and then I was gonna weld the lettering and the circle together. That doesn't work because the scanner doesn't have a built-in ring. Like this outer circle, the ring, it doesn't have that. So, you know, it's hard to explain, but you can't weld it. You would need a knockout function, which is in software. That's okay, we made it work. So we are going to, you know what, hang on, let me get a ruler real quick. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to measure my letters. So Father's Day, it looks like they're like about a ½ inch. So like a ½ inch. So we'll just make the management decision and say all our lettering's going to be ½ inch high. Okay, so I have my cardstock down. I'm going to go ahead and load in my universal with my Sharpie. So I'm going to twist it so it's all the way open. Pick it up and twist it. I'm going to put it in the little holder. I'm going to put my Sharpie down in there. I'm going to turn it. Make sure my Sharpie isn't going to bounce around, so that's good. Right, let me show you the front of the scanner cut. So I'm going to just take my knife out. I'm going to load in my universal pin holder. So always load it in with the logo facing you. All right. Let's go to designing. So I'm going to hit home because we're done with this, sadly. I didn't realize half cut was on, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, I'm going to stand up. Okay, I'm going to select pattern, my fonts, and I believe I selected this one. So I'm going to type in happy. And say okay, and say set. Then I'm going to add, I'm going to type in fathers. And this is where I grab my apostrophe. I'm going to go back to letters, lowercase, fathers. Say okay, and say set. And then we're going to add. Go on to pattern once again, select our font. You can do it in different fonts if you want. Day. And just for good measure, we'll go and get an exclamation point. Say okay, set. And let's just put it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and let's see. You know what? I'm going to edit. I'm going to grab it all and let's just size it this way. And let's object edit and we're going to group it. So I'm going to size it as a group. And I don't care that it's not in alignment because we're going to do something different with it anyway. So it's approximately, let's make it, when I measure my card, it's like 2.5. But we're going to have these spaces in here. So let's just make it like 2 inches tall. Hey Pam, hey Leanie. Okay, so I'm going to go my sizing option. And we're going to make the height 2 inches. 2 inches. Okay. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to ungroup them because I actually need to space these words a little bit apart, and you'll find out why. So like I said, I don't care that they aren't lined up. It doesn't matter to me because we're doing something different with them. All right. So I'm going to say OK. And actually, I'm going to go into Object Edit. Actually, I'm going to say OK. I'm going to actually select them all again. And then go into Object Edit. It's not with me. Okay, that's all right. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's scan in R. And this time I'll turn you so you can see this. Okay, I'm going to load my map. This time, remember I have the pin in. Hi Pam, hi Leanie. Okay, I'm going to scan in my background. All right, so that looks great. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to select Draw. And then I'm going to go into the Tools. I'm wondering what happened that won't let me fill it. Object Edit. Okay, I have to select each letter at a time. I'm going back, and I'm going to do a fill on them. I mean, not each letter, each word. You know, I think before I had it grouped when I did mine, so I didn't have to do that. But that's okay, no biggie. Okay, so now we're good. So let's go to Please Select and Draw. And go ahead and start. Oh, you gotta move the lever. I didn't have you guys on the Pivo. Okay, I had to move the lever because I'm not scanning. I'm going to say OK. Now let me turn you back so you can watch it draw. I didn't have it, so you saw me going through the steps. So we're going to go ahead and draw. This card has lots of steps in it. Lots happening. I can't believe it's Father's Day already. It just seems like it was just the 1st of June. It's kind of fascinating to watch it. We were just talking about cards, and you know, if you haven't bought a card in a long time, they're pretty expensive. You know, like $8 just for a card. So making one is fun and money saving. Of course, if you buy hundreds of pounds of paper, card stock, just so you have the right one on hand, might not save you that much money, but it's still fun. If you have kids, you could help them design a Father's Day card for their dad and maybe grandpa. You'd probably enjoy that. I had the other fill on tonight. You know what? I think these are going to be too big for what I want to do. It's too big. Oh, you buy all yours at the Dollar Tree. It's all right. So this isn't exactly what I want, but that's okay. I'm going to show you the process anyway. I had that other fill on. I didn't turn it to a solid fill. Yeah, these letters are way too big. That's okay. All right. So now I'm going to change cameras again. So my letters are, I don't know what happened, but that's all right. We're going to make this thing work. We're going to just explain a process here. The end product might not be the same, but that's all right. It's all about the process. Okay, so now I have this on my screen. I'm going to hit home and say okay. Now what I'm going to do is go back to the scan and go back to scan to cut. Let's move my lever again and say start. Oh wait, actually, no, that's not what I want to do. Let's go back. This isn't what I want to do. Sorry. I don't know where my brain went today. Took a right on Crenshaw and I went straight. Okay, let's go home. What I want to do is go into pattern, and I want to, what I'm going to do is just put a rectangle around each of these letters. Each of these words. Okay, I'm going to say set for now. And I'm going to scan my background because I'm going to size these rectangles to fit around these words. Okay, so I'm actually going to want 3 of these rectangles, so I'm going to go into edit, object edit, and I'm going to want a total of 3. I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to take the rectangles and put them around my letters. And we're going to go in and size it. So we're going to try to size it down, and we might have to make it so it's not proportional. We want to reduce our height. So I just want it to surround days. So it's hard to see, right? So I'm going to go into my move function where I can magnify it. So I'll move it up. Oh, that's me. Move it down, and it looks like I can make it quite a bit smaller. So let's go in and go back to object edit and go back to sizing it. So that probably looks good. That probably looks good. Okay, let's go back to moving. Let's see how it looks. Actually, that looks pretty good. Oh. Got a little too impatient there. I'm trying to make it so it's the same on the top and the bottom and the sides, but it doesn't have to be exact. Now we're going to say OK. And we're going to make sure we select a different rectangle because we don't want to be sad and done all that work. Now we're going to go into Object Edit and we're going to size this one. We're going to this turns it off so you can do the height and the width separate. Oops, wrong one. Let's get him all the way. Looks pretty good, except I think the height could be a little less. Maybe the width could be a little more. Alright, let's go into the move function. Now let's see how it looks. Looks pretty good. I think the height could be a little less. Object edit, sizing, turn the proportional off, make the height a little less. Okay, I'm going to make the width a little more. I'm going to go on my move again. Magnify it, let's see how it looks. I think I'm going to increase the height and the width just by 1. Object edit, size, maybe 2. Alright, now let's go over to our happy. Oh, I forget to turn proportional off. Alright, let's go into size. Move. Sorry, oh, it looks pretty good. I think I'll decrease the height by a couple. Object edit, sizing again. Okay, I'm going to call that good. So I'm going to put my standard blade back in. We're going to go in and we're going to cut this baby. Say OK. Please select cut. And my half cut's off. That's a mistake I made before. It was on. That's why we didn't cut. Here we go. So as you can see, these letters are way too big for our card, but that's okay. So I think what I did when I made the sample was I kept them all grouped, and that's why. And then grouping them, I don't know if I reverted back the size, but I should have kept them grouped. Okay, I'm going to unload it. Let's go over here. And here we are. So as you can see, they're way, 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 way too big for our card. I guess we could still use it, but I think it would. And I used, the fill was different, wasn't it? It was a hatched fill instead of a fill. All right. So I'm getting all this off, and I'm going to lift this up. And I don't know if it's not getting very good for me tonight. And I should have made my height just a little bit. I cut off a little bit of the Y. But see how this is going to be way too big. Father. So I'm just kind of pushing through from the back. There we go. See what I mean about that it comes off. I don't like that. Actually, this would still work. This will still work. We'll wait. Let's reserve judgment until we see our happy. Yeah, it's not going to work, but that's okay. I need a bigger card, yeah. I can make a bigger card. But we're not doing that tonight. We're just going to go forward. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our circle. I could make the circle a little bigger, Doris. I could. Let's see, how big could I make my circle? Doris has always got good ideas. Okay, if I made my circle like 4.5, that wouldn't be too bad. If I made it 5, it'd probably be a little bit too big. So let's make the circle maybe 4 3/4. What do you think? Let's do that. 4 3/4. Okay. Let's go for it. Now what we need is we actually need 2 circles because we need the circle that is backing all of this, and we need this ring. So we need to cut the full size circle. So let's cut that one first. We decided we're gonna make it 4 3/4. Just take this all down. Doris, you need to be by my side all the time. All right, let's just. This is relatively simple. This part. So let's go to. I'm gonna just go to Pivo. Show you the designing side of the house. Okay, I'm going to hit home and say okay. I'm going to choose pattern. I'm going to go in and grab my circle. And we're going to make it 4 3/4. I hope this is going to work. It's not been my night tonight. This card has been the bane of my existence. All right, I'm going to scan in the background. Say start. You guys aren't going to believe it. I left my glue stick at home, so we probably won't even piece this whole card together. Okay, here we go. We are going to cut this out. We're going to say okay, and we're going to cut. And start. Maybe what I'll do is post the finished card to the group. Okay. Oops. I just bopped my head. Here's the overhead. All right. Now, before I cut out the circle with the ring, perfect. Now, that won't look bad. That won't be too big. Doris, you're brilliant. We need to cut out the circle out of this acetate kind of material so it's clear, you won't be able to see anything. So that's a sad story too. Anyway, what I ended up using is called transparency film. So I'd gone and I got this plastic that I thought was clear. It wasn't. It was cloudy, so that wasn't gonna work. So I had to go to plan B. And that's this transparency film. This stuff is pretty thin. It's definitely less than 3 millimeters, but it cuts just fine. So I'm brayering it on. I know you guys can't see it. I guess you can kind of see it. There, you can kind of see it. So we are just going to cut that very same circle out of this material. The pieces are coming together. All right, and it says, let me go back to the pivot. It says, okay, we finished cutting. I'm going to load this on. Oops, sorry. That wasn't an earthquake, that was my arm hitting the camera. We're going to say okay. And we're actually I think we could just leave everything as is. I'm being very daring right now because I didn't scan in, but I won't show anything anyway. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut the transparency circle. Played with my scanner the other day. I bought a bunch of cardstock paper a while back when it was cheap. I practiced cutting shapes out. The cardstock had different patterns on it. A little tedious but fun practice, and good for you, Mickey. That's it. You just gotta play, right? All right, we are done with this circle. Let's go to the overhead. So now the next thing we'll do is to cut the ring. Now to cut the ring, we're going to have this original size circle, but we're going to duplicate it and make it smaller. So we're going to cut a circle within the big circle to make that ring. And you need that ring to cover up the part that you use to keep the whole piece together so you can have that snow globe effect. Look at that. So you can see, yeah, you can see the hole in the transparency film. Perfect. Finally a plan's coming together. I don't know, this Father's Day card was not meant to be. So this will be there, but there'll be stuff in between. I don't know what you want to call it. Stuff, this foam with double stick tape on it. All right, here we go. Kind of the last step in our process here. And you can kind of put the card together. Do you have glue sticks, Selena?
I will look.
But then I need something to lay on top of your sweet mat so I don't get dirty. All right, Selena's gonna check if she has glue stick. Otherwise, if not, we'll just have to make this party for another night.
I have a lot.
Oh, she does. And then do you have like aluminum foil or something I can put over your pretty mat so I don't get dirty? All right, my friends, to the machine. I'm going to go ahead and just put you on the IP roll again so you can watch the design process. So I'm going to load my mat. Selena's looking for something that I can glue on because we have this nice mat. Now I'm going to go back, and I still have this nice circle here. So I'm going to say Edit, Object Edit, and I'm going to +1. So I'm going to have two circles. Well, that second circle is selected. I'm going to downsize it. So it was at 4.75. Let's make it, normally I make it like 4.50, but I think I'm going to make it like, let's see. All right, now I'm going to go and say OK. And OK, I want to select it all, because now I want to line these up. So they're both selected. I'm going to go to my alignment tool right here. I'm going to align my horizontal center, my vertical center, my horizontal center. So now those are lined up. I'm going to say OK. I don't know, that ring still looks kind of small, huh? Let's, I think that's a smaller circle. Yeah, let's make it 4 point. I want that ring a little bigger. Now in theory they're probably still lined up, but I don't trust anything, so that looks good. Oh, you know what? I am gonna make it a little smaller. Sorry. Let's make it 4.20, just for good measure. Okay. Now I'm going to select them all again, just to make sure. I think we're still lined up. Object Edit. Align. Okay, we're good. So now we're going to go ahead and cut this. So we're going to have two circles, one bigger, one smaller. But they are going to be within each other, thus creating a ring. Oh, thank you, Selima. Yeah, we can just wash this off. Okay, I forgot my little silicone mat at home. So Selima got me a Teflon mat that I can glue on. I have a silicone mat, but guess where? It's at home. Alrighty. Say okay. And we're actually done with the scan and cut. We are done with the scan and cut, so I'm going to just turn it off. Okay, so back to the overhead, and the construction begins. So you guys like experienced card makers? So the only cards I made before were on the computer. It really didn't work. Yeah, I'm using a Teflon, or I don't know if they call it Teflon, non-stick. Anyway, before the scan, I never made cards. I never did anything with paper on the scan and cut. There's a ring. I just did, fabric, stuff like that, right? So, but a lot of people in this group wanted to do cards. So, you gotta do what your people want you to do, right? So, this has foam in between it. So what we want to do, embroidered cards, yeah. So what we're going to do is glue this ring onto here, onto the clear. And then I'm going to take this. So this is a foam that's got like sticky on both sides. What I'm going to do is stick that foam around the outer edges of this guy all the way around, because that's going to keep my confetti, or whatever you want to call it, from falling out. That would be nice, unless you want to be kind of mean to your dad. Well, actually, Dad probably wouldn't clean up the mess, right? It'd probably be Mom. So don't make Mom unhappy on Father's Day. Make sure this stuff is going all the way around.
Don't make Mom unhappy every day.
Yeah, don't ever make Mom unhappy.
Every day.
Don't ever do that. I think I told you guys on Mother's Day when I was a kid, I said to my mom, well, when's Kids Day? And my mom was like, oh, I wouldn't recommend that. Doris is asking if we can cut the sticky foam on this guy. I would not recommend that, Doris. You would probably gum up your blade pretty bad. And besides, this is thicker. This foam is thicker than 3 millimeters. But no, I would not. If Mom's happy, everybody's happy. That's right. That is so right. Darn it. Don't have bad scissors here. Don't look, Selena. Don't look.
I have other scissors.
You have bad scissors?
Uh-huh.
Could you give me some bad scissors? Not bad scissors, but not the good stuff. You don't want to use your good scissors. It gets gummy. I thought I was better prepared. Obviously not. All right. So I have a little extra here, so I'm going to just cut that off. Trying to butt up the ends. Here we go. There is that. So now what I need to do, this out of the way. Now what I need to do is take the glue stick and glue this circle to the acetate to make that ring. And that ring is going to hide, I did it right, the ring will hide all that white stuff. So just glue stick, happy glue stick. Ugh, I couldn't see this. I couldn't find it. It's right on, but fortunately my hand was right on it. All right, so this is kind of hard to see. You just have to take my word for it that I'm putting the ring right on the acetate. I got a little off, so let me scooch it. So we could scooch it so the There we go. Now, we could probably go ahead and glue these guys on too, so everybody's happy at the same time. Doris, you're brilliant. This is going to work out fine. So we're just going to eyeball the placement of this. Of course, if we wanted to be fancy, we could line it up on the mat. Could line it up on the mat like this, but I don't want to get glue on her mat. That looks pretty darn good. I don't think we'll get glue on it if we take it to this mat and put the glue on it and then put it here, right? Slim is not watching, so it's okay. All right, there we go. This gluing business is messy. Thank you, Doris, for telling me to make a bigger circle. No, all is not lost. So we actually had a class today. It was fun. We had a class Saturday. It was really fun. So come join us. We are having in-store classes. We still do some virtually, but you know, it's kind of fun to get together with everybody and craft and sew together. We are having a class, I think it's July 9th, in-store and virtual on the Scan and Cut. All right. Well, I still need the glue, but let's close this glue stick. How's that look? What do you think? Thumbs up? All right, here comes the fun part. Stuff. Confetti. You need a Caterpillar light box for that. Maybe. I have one that's at home. All right, everything's at home. All right, here we go. So I had these cute little silver stars all picked out for this project. I bought them special for this project. I can't find them. I looked everywhere. I have no idea where they are. And I can't blame anyone because it's just me and the dog. I don't think she did it. So you know what? This weekend I won't be looking for them and I'll find them. I think this is going to turn out cute. So we got lots of little glitter hearts in there. I peeled off all the paper. Yeah, Mickey, Gus is ridiculous. We won't talk about that. It's not happy. And then so there's our sticky foam is exposed. Our little confetti stars are in the center. And then we're going to just put this circle on top and press it down. And there you are. Is that fun? So we have this, and then we can put our tools on there. I just so happen to have tools ready to go. I think a drill.
Maybe put that lower towards the bottom and put one bigger tool. So
Oh, okay. So Selima's suggesting that we do. Oh, yeah, that would look good, huh?
Does it look too, like, it looks too square, right? That one?
That looks too square. We could do.
What about yeah,
We
maybe
could
that
do the
one.
hammer.
And then you could angle it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could do the hammer. And
Next time, Lynn, I'm going to write your sizes on a piece of paper for you.
okay. I know, right? Okay, I'm going to put the tools down first and then we can overlap.
Oh, that's
I don't know why
good.
I'm making such a big deal out of this thing. It's Father's Day card. It's not going into the Louvre or anything.
No museum.
No museum. Unless someday when I die, maybe they'll go, oh my God, she was such an artist. Let's put her stuff in the museum. I don't think so. So here we go. Here's our drill. I don't know how you guys feel about power tools. I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know. You never know, right? Yeah, Connie, it could happen. It could happen. You never know. I could be like mixed media or something. It Could happen. Stranger things have happened. Right? Alright. Here's my hammer. Oops, almost ripped my hammer. Here's my hammer. You guys probably couldn't see a darn thing I was doing. There's my hammer. Let me get rid of that stuff, it's sticky. And then look, all we have left to do. Oh, I think he's cute. What do you guys think? Yes, Leanie, the best power tool is the embroidering machine. Yeah, I know, Doris, but I don't know. They can't. I don't think the sewing machine could cut my hand off. All right, final stages. Let's glue this baby down. So just taking our glue stick on our mat so we don't get Selena's mat messy. So let's get creative with the scan and cut. You can make little handmade cards that go with your, oh, you know what we could do? Like we do embroidery projects and we save all those little thread scraps. Instead of confetti in here, we could put threads. All right, let's see if we can kind of center him. Oh, I like this one better than mine, my original one. Let's vote. Which do you like better?
Second one.
I like the second one better too. Doris, you are like brilliant. You are brilliant. You complete my brain. All right. So maybe I can post them and you guys can vote like we did last time. That was fun. Both are good. Oh, Connie, you're so sweet. Both are good. Yeah, I like this one though. I like this one. Shake it, baby, shake it. Second one. Yeah, everybody's voting on the second one. Well, the colors are bare on the second one too. I was a little off in my color choices. But that's okay. I'll give this one. Aman, you can give it to Aman. He's colorblind. There you go. Aman gets the one that the color's off because he won't know. He's a sweet man. We aren't going to do that to him. But they're both cute.
They're both cute.
All right, my friends. We did a lot tonight. Let's recap. Shall we? So we scanned this guy in, but, you know, Lynn didn't know his half gut was on, so it didn't cut, but that's okay. So, yeah, interactive card. We learned to cut transparency film, which cut like a dream. We learned to adapt and adjust, so I couldn't do what I really wanted to do, but we drew and then we put a frame around it so we could cut it out. And then we didn't have to fussy. Remember how I was always overlapping letters to weld them? Didn't have to do that. And we learned to make a little like snow globe thing. It's fun. I love this. This is fun. So go out there, forget about spending $8 on a card and make your own. What do you say? So if you, like always, if you have any projects you want us to do, let us know. Let us know, my friends. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for bearing with me and helping me out and telling me, hey, you can make it work, make it bigger. All right, girls, you take it easy and have a fabulous night. And we will see you maybe tomorrow for fabric sale, maybe Friday for fun day, and maybe next Tuesday for IQ. We're always here for you. All right, everybody take care. Have a great night. Stay safe. Have a good Father's Day. All right, take care. Bye-bye.